Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tilting Ground Untitled Notre Dame USC Football Podcast. I'm Michael Muto. I'm here with Greg Flamong. Happy New Year, Greg.
Happy New Year, good sir.
Oh, well, it's been a really incredible New Year so far.
It has been.
Because
That's true.
that USC Rose Bowl.
Amazing game.
I can safely say it's the best. It's the best Rose Bowl that USC's won.
You mean in terms of game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was a really great one in 2006.
That one just turned out the wrong way.
That one went poorly.
Yeah.
That time you were the team that couldn't get the third and short or fourth and short, whatever it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about the past.
No.
About those sad times. We need to talk about the happy times at USC and the amazing come from behind Rose Bowl victory by the Trojans.
Where did you take in this game?
I was just on my couch.
Okay.
In my own home. For big games like this, I try to keep the ancillary cast of characters to a minimum.
I totally understand. I'm exactly the same way.
I actually was feeling very high about the game going into it, as everyone who listens knows. But the night before, I was watching the Sunday night, NFL whatever show on the local TV, and they had Petros Papadakis, the captain of the worst football team in USC history.
Uh-huh.
And he's usually a little hard on the Trojans, but he was gung ho. He said, "No, this is a Big Ten team. The Trojans are going to run them out of the building." And I thought, "Oh, okay, good. Someone else sees it like I see it." I feel really great. I felt really great waking up Monday morning. It started a little slow though.
Well, you know what? Like, I think everyone, like, I think you were right at first, and then I was right.
Yeah.
And then I guess you were right again.
Because Penn State was garbage for a while. Like,
they were hot garbage. And I mean, it's funny because McSorley ended the game just exactly how he started the game.
He regressed to the mean, I guess.
Just like chucking the ball up like to no one. But like everything in between was just like some of the craziest things ever. Like they scored on 4 straight plays. Like it just.
I don't even think I've ever seen.
How does it even happen? Unbelievable. I texted you, just like with what we saw from Michigan, with what we saw from Ohio State, I was like, man, I think Mike is right. I think maybe the Big Ten just wasn't very good because they just kind of beat up on each other,
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing about Ohio State is that it just looking back, like given the way they played against Michigan on offense and given the way they played against Clemson on offense, I don't know how that Oklahoma game happened. Like that is something that I don't really understand because they beat them like 45-17, like in their stadium.
Yeah, I guess Oklahoma can't play defense, but that still doesn't account for, all of that.
They're not bad on defense, though. I mean,
they're fine.
They're not Alabama or Michigan, but they're not Notre Dame either. So.
Right. But yeah, I mean, hats off to Saquon Barkley, by the way. He was incredible for Penn State.
He was
on Monday. I guess it was Monday. I mean, I don't understand why he didn't get the ball every time. Honestly, like especially on the outside, they couldn't tackle him. They couldn't contain him. Anytime they ran up the middle or threw it to not Goodwin, I just don't understand what Penn State was doing.
Yeah, I mean, Barkley, I knew he was good, but I mean, and you texted me, he had like a 500-pound power clean or whatever.
Oh, it was a very impressive video.
Which seems like a lot. I mean, he probably would have gotten more carries, but like they scored so quickly on so many possessions. Like, how could they? Like, he had 1 carry for 80, then they chucked the ball up and scored on another one. Then they had a possession where it was just a pick, and then they ran the ball on first down. I mean, It's
True.
like there were 3 possessions where they didn't even like they ran 3 plays.
They didn't even need him. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, what did you like? Take me through your emotions. Like,
Should we just fast forward to the end of the third quarter?
no, like I want to go to the start.
The start.
Like, take me through the start. Like, because SD's up 13-0, and you're thinking, okay, they're dominating this game, but it's like it's 13-0.
Yeah, it's a shaky 13. It wasn't a good 13.
Yeah, like it should be 21.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
I mean, they missed the big kick, so it was a really long kick. So I don't feel bad for the kicker missing, but they should have scored. Like they shouldn't have had to kick.
Right.
Hold on, Greg. I'm gonna sign on and sign back off. The echo's there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So yeah, it was a shaky start. Oh wait, echo's still there. You sign on and sign back.
Okay. I notoriously am not good at this. How do you do it?
So I leave. I don't know what your screen looks like, but I leave the Hangouts, and then when I come back in, you can just pick. It's like the top one. You just pick it again. This says ongoing call.
So you click out the whole window.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see.
Still sticking with the traditional Queenslander style, but just busting into the city. Now, this house does have 3 bedrooms, but unfortunately, it's only one car.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, okay, that totally worked. Okay, perfect.
All right. Here we go. 8:15. All right. So yeah, it was a shaky start. They should have scored more. They felt like they left some points on the field that would come back to haunt them, and sure enough, it did.
It did.
and not quickly, but then Penn State started to take over. But SC hung around. They kind of right before halftime, things really went Penn State's way, and I was happy because SC was going to get the ball after halftime.
Mm-hmm.
But I just felt like they were having a lot of trouble. And they sure were. And that's when the wheels really fell off. is that third quarter.
It all happened very quickly. I mean, because I kept thinking, like, man, Penn State is a stop and a score away from winning, like leading this game. And it can't be, I don't know. You had to feel bad about it. Like, man, we're dominating them. Like, they can't really do much. But then,
right, like the one long touchdown Amon Marshall got his hand on. I guess that was later, actually.
Yeah.
But the interception was a tip ball.
Yeah, it was like a tip. It was a tip ball, and they scored that touchdown on Adoree Jackson, of course.
Well,
even though like incredible throw. Like, I mean, it was just freaking like the kid's rolling right, and he puts it like in a spot where even Adoree Jackson's got to be like, I mean,
it probably wasn't a touchdown either, but
we'll get to that.
Regardless.
But so like they had some good things happen to them, and Penn State made some plays, and then but SC, it's not like they completely bogged down, and then they get the punt to start the game. I mean, to start the second half, and then Penn State scores in the first play.
Yeah,
and they're down. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe this.
So So when SC gives up the 3 straight scores in the third quarter,
Yeah.
it happens so fast that I'm not even like upset. It's
Mhm.
like I don't know what happened, and I think to myself like, well, that happened so fast. I guess they can get right back in this thing.
Yeah.
like it was almost like, well, there's a lot of game left, so I don't know what to say. It's not because it's not sustained drives. It's not Penn State showing how great they are. It's just a couple big plays,
Uh-huh.
and and SC got back in it. Juju Smith-Schuster had some clutch catches. There was the lucky one in the fourth quarter, but oh man,
Nah, not really. Oh, you mean the
tip one?
the tip one?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's probably like the turning point in the game.
Yeah,
I think if that play doesn't happen, USC does not win.
probably not.
I mean, it's like the Penn State defense. They're off the field. I mean, it's 3rd and 6 or whatever it was, and they've got him sacked, and he just chucks the ball at the tight end because he's got to do something, and he probably sensed it too. That's one thing about Sam Darnold that like it's so would be so annoying for defense because he has a knack for knowing where the last resort is. He has some sort of in his mind, like if nothing else, I'm going to do this thing that might be a little bit dangerous, but it's the only way that we can turn this dumb play into a good play.
Like the weak spot. Like he knows the weak spot. Like I guess I go over the middle here because I have 2 receivers and there's a blitz on me, or like, oh, I'll go to the sideline because it's single coverage. Like he improvises correctly.
It's kind of like he always has his hand on the like in an emergency pull lever thing. Like
right.
He's always ready to do that, and I feel like so many quarterbacks will just give up plays. Like they'll just be like, I don't know, like what it's supposed to be. The play's breaking down. I'm just gonna go down.
Or just stare down their guy and be like, I'm
just
gonna throw it here.
I'm just gonna go down and we'll punt and we'll live to play another day because probably they're coached that all the time. I mean, he did that countless times. I mean, that's his. I mean, that's his greatest skill. Exactly, the whole season. That's his greatest skill is when things break down, he improvises exactly how you should.
Well, look at the 2-point conversion play. Like it was some garbage play.
It was terrible.
Like
I hated them
thing.
doing it. I hated it.
And then
it was such a bad.
He gets kind of stopped, so he pulls back to throw, and he sees the wide open tight end, and of course it works. Like
he jumps.
Yeah, he throws it to a wide open tight end on a blown play that should have never worked.
Yeah.
Like I think I texted you like, "Hey, this is the Clay Helton era in a nutshell."
It is, and the funny thing is, like I was gonna talk about this like at the end is just kind of like an overview of the way like the USC season happened, because I think Clay Helton gets a lot of credit for like just what a great coaching job. Like they finished with 9 straight wins or whatever. And are they like any different than just the fact that they added this quarterback?
No, not at all. Like it's all this guy.
They're not different. Like, and not just that, but like they added this quarterback that does things that have nothing to do with his coaching.
Right. It's not like he's making the right read. I mean, he is, but it's not like he's calling the right plays or play action in grade or it's all this improv, finding the open guy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it just plays breaking down. He's scrambling for yards when he's about to be sacked. He's scrambling, throwing it on the run to somebody, just like on the 2-point play. On the first touchdown, he did it.
Like there's no negative yards. It's always like he'll get you back to the line of scrimmage. Worst case scenario.
So and look, I mean, having talented players counts. It's not like it didn't or anything like that. And I don't remember specifically any coaching gaffe. I hated him going for 2 when he did. I mean, I guess you had plenty of time to get it back, but like you don't need to be chasing points in the middle of the third quarter. But I mean, it's a results-based thing. I personally, I still don't like it, even though it happened to work out.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
We should probably talk about the officiating.
We should, because it was. I mean, I guess I feel bad for Notre Dame having to deal with those ACC officials all year long.
I've seen that guy before.
The fumble, the fumble, non-fumble, or fumble recovery where the lineman has his hand on it, like way away from his body, laying on the ground. The touchdown that wasn't a touchdown. What else was there? I mean, USC loves to have penalties, so I don't think that's all on the officials.
Well, I thought the first.
Oh, and Mr. Roughness.
The unnecessary roughness was just complete garbage.
Because the linebacker didn't touch the quarterback, and the other guys.
Well, here's the thing: if the linebacker had hit him, then yes, it would have been. But he kind of didn't, and the other guy's sliding in.
Like feet first, almost.
Yeah, it's slippery. Like people were sliding all over this field, and he didn't really hit him that hard. And it's like, dude, it's the freaking Rose Bowl. Like, don't reward the kid because someone slipped.
Right. It wasn't even even if he did hit him, it wasn't a hard hit. It wasn't malicious or anything.
Yeah. I mean, the targeting was a freaking.
I mean, that was targeting.
What is he doing? You can't jump with your face into someone else's face.
Cam Smith will be suspended for the first half against, was it Western Michigan?
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that the Fleck guy?
The what?
PJ Fleck? Is he their coach?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. We'll deal with it later.
That's next year's podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was ridiculous. Just a dumb thing. So here's my opinion on the catches.
Okay.
Either they're both incomplete or they're both catches. And I'm fine with them both being catches.
You're talking about Juju Smith-Schuster's down the sideline catch?
Yes.
And what's his name? Chris Goodwin's bobble catch in the corner of the end zone.
Here's the thing about Goodwin's bobble catch. I'm not totally certain that the second foot was actually on the line. I think that second foot might have been in. And the reason that I think that is there was a play last year with the similar type of replay where Odell Beckham caught a pass in the corner of the end zone. Like that. And it looks like, and I'm like, dude, his toe is touching the white. His toe is touching the white, like I'm looking at it. And then they go to the pylon cam and they show it, and his toe is obviously not touching the white. And we never got that view of it.
See, I think he never caught it. I think when he brought it into his body, he lost possession for a split second, and then he's out of bounds when he kind of recovers.
See, I thought that he had it, the way I looked at it is he has it pinned into his body, and then he flips over and lands, and he keeps it.
Yeah, see, I thought when he went into his body, he lost it.
See,
he's not really touching it anymore. But, I mean, it's instant replay. It was a great catch. It was a great throw.
But I felt like Juju's was kind of the same. And I
don't know if Juju ever got his foot down when he had possession.
What?
I don't know if Juju ever got his foot down when he had possession.
Me neither.
I think he might have got his foot on the DB's foot.
Yeah, I think he had his foot on the ground, but I don't think he had possession until he put it into his other hand, in which case his foot was already off the ground, and then the next contact was out of bounds. However, I'm applying this thing, I don't mind them giving the benefit of the doubt to a guy who starts to catch it with the foot in bounds and then finally secures it when he's off the ground, but then lands and still holds on. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm fine to give the benefit of the doubt and to allow them to continue a catch even though they're off the ground kind of thing. It's just I don't know. I just feel like that's the way football should be. You should reward great plays and not reward, a technicality.
Questionable stuff.
Yeah, like I'm totally cool with it. So since they called, I texted you, Juju's was a catch before they showed one replay.
You did.
So I just thought he caught it. And I thought the other kid caught it. Like, I thought they should have given them both credit. So, but if they had called them both incomplete, I would have understood that as well.
As long as they're consistent, just be consistent.
Yeah, exactly. The overturned fumble.
I've never seen that.
I'll never understand it. I like, since when is having your hand on the ball in the middle of a scrum considered I have possession of this ball? Since when is that?
It is now in the ACC.
That, like, I mean, we live in a world of, like, it's got to be indisputable. There is no, you could get 10 different replay people in the booth, and you might get, it would be 50-50, if that. And how do you consider that to be indisputable? Like, there can't be one, you telling me you look at that and there's not one person who would have been like, no, he doesn't. Of course he doesn't have possession. He's got to bring it into his body.
Well, all the broadcast guys thought there was no way he had possession. And they're
Right.
usually on the referee's side.
And it has to be obvious. It has to be clear possession. Clear.
Like they were surprised it got challenged in the booth.
Yeah. I'm not surprised it got challenged, I guess. I am surprised. Like, it has to be clear possession.
And Herbstreit, who loves the Big Ten, he even thought it was a fumble recovery by USC. So
He loves the Big Ten.
so I mean, that goes to show, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
What a wonderful game, though.
It was so good. Well, I think your favorite moment was the Deontay Burnett 27-yard pass right over the safety's head to tie the game.
Incredible.
But who makes that throw?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the safety was thinking, because he's running right to him. And he looks like he's running right to him. Like, why are you even trying to throw this? I think that and you know what? The way that he did it, too, is he could have tried to throw it on the line drive, and he gave it just enough air to get it over the guy. Incredible pass. Incredible pass. I think the safety was trying to bait him or something.
Maybe think he'll get a pick or something.
Yeah,
or he has less room behind him than he thinks, so he can catch back up.
It's like, bro, like, you can't be baiting guys like with the game on the line unless you're gonna be Ed Reed or something. Like, that's just not. I don't advise that.
Oh, it was great. It was just that's when you knew. I mean, that's just when you knew.
Yeah, and then the fact, because I always think, like, because someone said, I think it was my wife, we were watching, and she was like, they scored too early, right? And I said, I kind of feel like they scored and are actually giving themselves a chance to get it back in time.
Like, they're fighting.
Because Penn State at that point was like, they had their chance. They had their 3rd and 4, and if the quarterback keeps it on that, they did the zone read, and everyone went after Barkley, and if the quarterback keeps it, he walks for a first down, and then the game is over. And they didn't get it, and then they tie the game. I just felt like, I mean, Penn State had their moment, and the first pass, I mean, it just a complete duck. And I'm thinking they need to run on 3rd down. Like, they need to play for overtime at this point.
I mean, I know what they were doing because
terrible pass.
Jack Jones was awful in coverage, who was in for the injured Adoree Jackson.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he knew what he was doing.
Plus, he's slipping all over the field.
Yeah. But Leon McQuay, man, I can't believe that the Trace McSorley threw the same pass 2 times in a row.
He did the same pass twice.
It's like, what did you think was going to happen, buddy?
And if you know you don't have the arm for it, then don't try it.
I mean, I let out a guttural scream on back-to-back plays.
Nice.
I don't think I've been that excited at a football game in a while.
Nice.
And then Baumeister with the winning field goal fades it. Was it left to right?
Yeah, I
Oh.
told everyone I was watching with, because they were like, "Oh, he's missed two." I was like, "Man, he's gonna start this outside and just bring it in." That's what because he's been doing it the whole game, and he did it.
It was.
God
It was.
bless him.
God bless him.
He saved Clay Helton from some trash clock management.
That's true.
It's like, man, this is college football. Like, you're playing, like, you have a quarterback who hasn't thrown an incompletion for like five quarters, and you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna run it once with Ronald Jones and then run the clock down.
I mean, maybe they wanted it on that hash mark. Maybe it was kind of a deep field goal too. It wasn't. It was 46, man. That's no joke in college.
This is college football. Whatever, I'd say Clay Helton, great coach. Keep him.
Can we talk about the field real fast while we're here?
Yeah.
Like, what an embarrassment for the great land that is Southern California. That just a little drizzle in a little cold weather
The granddaddy
makes the Rose Bowl
overtook
unplayable.
the playing surface.
It's just unplayable.
I mean, like, I imagine that, like, we don't get a lot of rain out here, so maybe the
drainage isn't ready for that.
Very good. But, like, if it's not, then get the tarp out.
Like, oh, it was crazy. Like, I feel like the Penn State guys were ready for it for like the first two quarters. Like, they're used to this.
Yeah.
And then by the end, the field was just such a dog track that everybody was falling.
Jeez. It's like, this should not be happening.
No one's played on the Rose Bowl in 2 months.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, nope, unplayable field. Just so embarrassing. I mean, Adoree got hurt. Like, that's not okay.
He did get hurt. He had a nice perm.
He did. His bowl game look was on point.
It was. And once again, all of his best plays came on offense or special teams.
Well, so we were waiting for the punt return touchdown so he could be defensive player of the game.
Yeah.
He had an interception. I mean, it was kind of like thrown right to him.
His dude was wide open. It was a bad pass, and they tipped it to him. He was 5 yards behind him.
Well, whatever.
No, you know what? He's great. Go to the pros, Adoree. Go pro.
I wonder if this was so exciting that Juju and Adoree leave, or if, like, oh, now they're going to be ranked highly to start the season, so everybody comes back.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Because Sam Darnold, fun Sam Darnold fact from today. He is the Archie Griffin Player of the Year award winner.
What is that?
The Archie Griffin Award goes to the MVP of college football, and I think they use the actual, like, valuable to his team criteria, and they wait till all the bowl games are played to give out the award.
Well, they don't. Apparently, they don't.
Well, besides the national title game, because, Deshaun Watson's not going to do anything. So he's the second Trojan to ever win. Matt Leinart won twice.
That's weird.
So he's the most valuable player to his team. I mean, it's true. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who Clemson's backup quarterback is, or I don't know who Louisville's backup quarterback is, I guess.
Yeah, like, I would say, like.
But then again, Louisville didn't. They lost their bowl game.
No, I mean, yeah, like, I don't. I'm pretty sure Clemson's not,
going undefeated with.
Well, I mean, you could say Dalvin Cook. I mean, what's Florida State's record if Dalvin Cook isn't on the team?
But is he more valuable then?
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's amazing.
He is very good.
He's incredible. Like, I don't want to throw shade at the kid, but I mean.
But did he go 10 for 10 in the fourth quarter of a Rose Bowl game on a comeback victory?
Did he go 10 for 10?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good stats. I mean, you know what? I'm not going to. Good for him. I'm good.
I think, by the way, the spike should count as an incomplete pass. I know why it doesn't, because that's kind of dumb. And
it doesn't?
No. Apparently not.
Well, it has to count for something.
Well, he went 10 for 10 in the fourth quarter.
I maybe they just said without the spike. It has to
Maybe.
count. I mean, it can't not count. It's a play.
That's true.
You can't just be like, "Nah, these plays don't count." Like,
You know what? Maybe I saw it before the spike. And that's
Oh,
what it was.
okay. Yeah, that's
But-
probably what it was.
I'm gonna look.
No, he's great.
No, you know what? It says team pass incomplete on the scoring sheet.
I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't go for Sam Darnold. It goes for the team.
Well, I guess
That's some tricky scoring right there.
if you take a knee, is that team -1?
I believe not.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, I don't know about college football and pros. I know in the pros it does not count. It counts against your rushing total.
It definitely does. Yes, that definitely is true for all you fantasy players out there.
Yep, that's how I know.
So okay. I want to do some big picture stuff because I saw a thing on ESPN. The guy re-ranked the bowl teams.
Okay.
So I'm just going to run down a list of teams. We've seen all the bowl games. I don't think we need to see what happens with Clemson and Alabama for you to answer this question.
True.
I'm just going to list all the bowl teams. Now, this isn't a team that you think they would beat, or they could beat. It's if you were playing them on a neutral field somewhere, would you take USC straight up?
Okay.
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 So I'll say Alabama,
No.
Clemson.
I saw what happened on that one.
Yeah, Clemson.
No.
Okay. Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay. Ohio State.
That's a tough one. But I saw that Clemson game and they did not look good. So I'll go yeah.
Okay. Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Do you think they would beat Oklahoma?
I do. I think they beat Oklahoma.
Why do you think that?
I think they'd be able to score. I trust their offense more against Oklahoma than I do against teams like Ohio State. And then the defense would do just well enough to keep them ahead.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. Is Penn State just scored 49. And Oklahoma's offense is unquestionably better than Penn State's. Like, a lot better. Like, they essentially have two Saquon Barkleys. And they have Baker Mayfield, who is, a better version of Trace McSorley. And they have, the best receiver in football this year.
But USC scored 52 against Penn State.
No, I got it. I totally got it. But, Oklahoma's defense is better than Penn State statistically. Penn State and USC were a very even matchup
Yes.
in terms of their total defense and total offense. So, I feel like I don't think ratings matter as much as matchups. So here's the thing about Penn State is they were ranked 5th or whatever. But would you take Penn State over Oklahoma?
That's a tough one. Would I take? That's Big 10, Big 12. I mean, look at what Ohio State did to Oklahoma.
To me, the answer is obviously no.
Probably not. You're right.
I mean, and you wouldn't take Michigan over Penn State over Michigan because they lost by 39. And you wouldn't take even the Penn State game against Ohio State. Ohio State outgained them by about 140 yards. And they were two basically total flukes away from winning at Penn State. I mean, the block field goal, which is, like I thought was illegal, but whatever. And then there was some other play too. So like they won, yes, and give them credit for that. But it's like they had 270 yards of they had 270 yards of offense.
Right.
And Ohio State had like 430 or something like that. So it's like USC got a team that they are unquestionably more talented than in terms of just the players that they have on their roster.
Line for line. Yeah. No doubt there.
And so that is not the case against Ohio State. That's not the case against Michigan, and that's not the case against Oklahoma.
True. Those teams are equally stacked with talent.
Right. So like
I guess the concern is Oklahoma can score.
And even Washington.
How dare you?
Well, because but look, if you just look at recruiting rankings for the past 4 years, it's not even close.
No.
So, and look, I mean, who has Washington beat this year? Like, if you just look back, like who did they beat?
Nobody.
They beat nobody. So we don't really know if they were good at all. You know what I mean? So, I would say, I think the best game would be, I would take Ohio State against USC. I would take Oklahoma against USC. I think the best game is Michigan USC. I think that's the best game.
See, I just don't think Ohio State can score enough.
So you say that because
lately they haven't been scoring a lot.
Well, because what they did against Clemson and
even Michigan.
But the thing you have to understand,
those are good teams.
Well, no, it's not that they're good. It's that their defensive lines are amazing, and that is not the case with USC.
No,
Clemson and Michigan and Alabama. And we saw it with Alabama against USC. Their defensive lines are so good is that they render the basic things that you want to do, you can't do them. It's like you saw it against Washington. Like Washington, they can't run. Like half the playbook is out of the picture.
Yeah, because some Alabama guys.
Because there's no time. You just don't have time. And so I think with Ohio State and Clemson is the same way. They, all the running stuff that Ohio State does, it's like Clemson says, you know what, we're just going to have our 6 in the box and you're just not going to do it. And good luck with the rest of it. So like that's the part of it that I think, the way Ohio State looked against Clemson, like I don't think they would look that way against USC because USC can't do the things with the defensive line that Clemson could or Michigan could. They're like 35th in defense.
Who, USC?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
So,
I'm
not saying like I would. I'm not saying they would blow them out. I'm not saying Ohio State by 20. Like it's not obvious. I just think that, like if I had to pick a team, I would pick Ohio State. So like if I was re-ranking now, because the guy on ESPN had them 3rd.
Seems a little high.
Yeah. Right. So if I was re-ranking now, I would have Alabama or Clemson in some order. I would probably have
Ohio State still?
I'd probably still have Ohio State, actually. Then I'd have Oklahoma. And then, so they're 4th.
Yeah, then probably USC.
Then probably USC at 5.
That's probably how it's going to shake out.
That's probably what I would do. And but see, the thing about USC too, though, is you couldn't definitively say that they would beat Florida State, right?
I mean, I really don't know how good Florida State is. Like they're good.
Right, I don't either. Like, look, they've looked. I mean, they lost by like 100 to Louisville. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, but you couldn't say like,
I mean, look, 6 weeks ago, I was worried about if SC played Louisville. I think Louisville would win. And now I don't, now I don't
well,
know.
yeah,
Now
I mean, you know,
people
a
think I'm
lot
crazy if I
changes.
said
Yeah,
that.
a lot
Yeah.
changes. But like, just
Yeah.
given the way that Florida State played against Michigan, like you have
Yeah.
to figure like they would give USC a game. You know, I mean, you got to deal with Dalvin Cook, and like you said, like we were saying, Florida State has athletes that can compete with USC's
And
athletes.
you saw what Saquon Barkley did.
Right, exactly.
There's no reason why Dalvin Cook couldn't do it.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook's amazing. I can't get enough of him. Anyway, I mean, so anytime, like I don't think USC was so good. It's like they could dominate any team with equal talent. Like I don't think that's the case.
I mean, they
So-
haven't. Like,
Right.
all year I've been saying is like they really haven't played anyone that great in the Sam Darnold era besides Washington and now besides Penn State.
Right.
Like they've all been bad defenses. They've all been, just kind of whatever teams.
Right. But next year we'll see.
Next year we will see.
And here was the sad thing for me watching these bowl games.
This is Notre Dame didn't get to play in one.
No, I mean, whatever. I think is that like, I feel like Notre Dame's 2015 version, like last year's team.
Okay.
Like I feel like they could have played. Like I feel like they could have beaten Penn State.
Like a game like that.
Yeah. I mean, like 52-49. Like I think if the two schools played again, it wouldn't be that high scoring. Like
No.
USC and Penn State. But I think my 34-30 prediction was actually pretty good.
It was just on steroids.
Yeah, exactly. And I did take the points, so I win. But so I felt like they could have played in that game. I feel like they could have played in like the Orange Bowl.
I mean, you said it a couple episodes ago. You were like, yeah, Notre Dame gets to go to a bowl game, and they run into Ohio State, who probably should be in the playoff.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott, the NFL MVP,
Right. And it's like, why can't Notre Dame play? Like they had like Ohio State had 10 guys that went to the NFL. Like Penn State,
Right.
what? Like they have Barkley and they have that receiver maybe, and I don't know what. Like
Some guy on defense probably.
Yeah. And it's like, why can't Notre Dame play a team like that ever? But whatever. I think the point is that like you watch Clemson play and you watch Alabama play. And like even Ohio State, like those teams have so much talent. They have so much talent. And like Notre Dame is so far from that. Like they are so far away from that situation. And SC is
Alabama defense is unreal.
And SC is less far away. Like they're not to that level, but I mean they can get defensive linemen, a lot easier than Notre Dame can. And it just made me sad. Like Notre Dame like that's the thing about Penn State is, people were talking about like on Notre Dame message boards about so like Penn State, like their program is in much better shape than Notre Dame's is. No, it isn't. Last year they were 7-6, and the year before that they were 7-6. Like they had a good season. If Penn State goes 8-4 next year, is anyone going to be surprised?
It's probably what they're going to do.
Right. So it's like that's the thing. Like Penn State had their one good season, and I feel like that's Notre Dame now. Like they're just the team that had the one good season every now and then. It's like you want to be a program, man. Like look at Clemson. Ugh.
Well, does Notre Dame have a quarterback coach yet? That was the controversy of the weekend.
Oh.
I guess it was a controversy. The rumor mill of the
The
weekend.
Memphis guy?
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, the Tommy Reese.
The Tommy Reese thing. Yeah, come on.
You know what, man? Like, whatever. Maybe he's good. Maybe he's like Major Applewhite.
I mean, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Look at T. Martin. Maybe he's a great recruiter. Doubtful.
I doubt it. Yeah.
Not the point.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. So no, Notre Dame does not have a quarterbacks coach yet?
Not officially, no.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about them too much. I just thought
I know. We just need a little. It's a shared time podcast.
Yeah. So, but I'm happy for you, man. That was fun. Fun game.
It was a very fun game.
Fun game to have won. And you know what the sad thing is too? It's like it's an amazing game. If they had lost, like you would have had to suffer through like every like for 100 years they're going to be showing this game on like replays and stuff for people to see and all that, and people are writing about it. And if you'd lost, it's just like a negative, just like this big negative thing that happened.
Well, it's another big loss in the Rose Bowl for USC.
Yeah, but since you won, it's like, yay, let's watch all the replays.
Zach Banner, like, USC's back, right? Quote me on that, or write that in your paper. I think that's what he said. It's like, come on, you almost cost the team the game with your false start.
Yeah. Oof.
Like, yeah, can't wait till next year. I'm curious what's going to happen. Maybe Sam Darnold doesn't start the first 4 games? I don't know. What if they do?
Maybe quarterback competition. Never know.
Like Matt Fink is just throwing the ball around in spring, and Clay Helton's unsure of who should start.
It's like, I don't know. This guy, he's got the playbook down.
You know what was really funny? The USC and like I think some of the backup quarterbacks, they were tweeting pictures of like, oh, Rose Bowl quarterbacks. You know, it's like Matt Fink, some redshirt guy, like some walk-on guy, and Sam Darnold. It's like, that's great, except the actual backup quarterback isn't in the picture. Like, you guys couldn't have found Jalen Green? Like, if something goes wrong, the guy who really will play quarterback is not in your quarterback picture.
No.
I found that amusing because the picture filtered through like, you know, different Twitter accounts at different times. It just made me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
The little things. Did we get all?
We got it all, man.
I think we got it all. It was a great bowl game.
It was.
You know what we didn't say is this is USC at Jace News. Lane Kiffin got fired the week of the national title game, which is very impressive.
That usually happens.
Almost as impressive as getting fired in an airport, but
teams usually go through coaching changes like the game before the national championship. That's standard.
So former USC head coach Steve Sarkisian will now be Alabama's offensive coordinator.
Standard.
It's just a standard practice for a national title game.
Standard.
I mean, look, they don't even really need an offense. They just put that defense out there,
and
they'll score enough touchdowns to keep the game close.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of just went without, like, they went with a guy. They had a guy coaching for them in the national semifinal who basically probably knew he was about to be fired, then was fired. And I mean, like, I was texting you, like, what is he doing? Like, what are these stupid plays? Like, can't get Calvin Ridley the ball. It's like this Bo Scarborough freaking truck. Like, no one's tackling him. He gets like 9 carries. And it's like, no, we're just going to keep chucking. And, you know, they win the game anyway. They basically got a rogue coach. And it's just like, nah, we're going to win.
It's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. We'll score defensive touchdown number 11. No big deal.
Unbelievable, that team.
Ugh.
I thought it was their 15th non-offensive touchdown.
Yes. Because I think they have a couple punt returns.
Right. 15. My goodness. God, that's incredible.
That's unreal.
That's more than one a game.
That's super unreal.
Oh, boy.
Well, good luck. Who do you want to win since this is a college football podcast? Just picking favorites. No, who do you think? Who do you want to win?
Clemson.
You want Clemson to win?
Yeah. I like Dabo.
Huh.
I like Dabo.
Well, good. I always want Clemson to lose. So
I have to choose someone.
That's true. I also do.
I have to choose someone.
I'm an American, so I like a winner. So I just bang that Alabama drum.
Well, there's no fascist for me to choose in this one. So.
True.
Winner.
All right, let's get out of here.
Let's go, man. I gotta go to bed.
Follow us on Twitter. Greg, what's your Twitter?
At Greg2126.
Nothing new, right?
No,
from the UHND?
man.
Busy.
I'm a new daddy again, so I got a lot going on, man. I don't have time to write, but it's
All right.
coming up soon.
All right. I'm Michael Muto on Twitter, Tilting Ground on Twitter. Type in USC or Notre Dame on iTunes. The links also in the podcast. Go to iTunes, subscribe, leave comments. We really appreciate that. And we'll be back next week with a little season wrap up. And then who knows what happens after that?
Yeah, we'll see. We got to do some signing day thing.
Oh yeah, of course. That's not for like a month.
Yeah, something like that.
So we got a little bit of time on that.
Okay.
All right. Well, fight on.
Go Irish.